Hello and welcome back to more Big 12 basketball on Bearcat Sports Radio. I'm Miles Essenpreis, joined by Justin Dedrick as the Cincinnati Bearcats take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. The Bearcats, who have seemed to be on the up and up after a solid pair of home wins against Colorado and then number 2 in the nation, Iowa State, have again struggled to grab an away win, going 0-9 all games played outside of Fifth Third Arena this year. Now just 1-3 in their last 4, they look to bounce back above 500 against the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Interestingly enough, under new head coach Ross Hodge, they have also had difficulties finding road wins this season, being just 1-7 outside of Morgantown. Justin, how much does being in Fifth Third Arena tonight benefit these Bearcats?
It means a lot for the Bearcats. They play so much better at home, 11-2 on the season at home, like you mentioned, 0-9 on the road. They just haven't been able to find a rhythm when they're in hostile environments, and when you're in the Big 12 Conference, every single road game is a hostile environment. That's no different for Fifth Third Arena, but of course, it's for the opposing team. So the other team has to deal with these rowdy Bearcats fans. It's a Thursday night. I did hear there's a calc exam going on, so maybe some students will show up late and add to the environment. But this is a tough place to play, and West Virginia's going to have a problem with that. But the Bearcats, they get energized by this home crowd. They love their fans. The fans love them back. They reciprocate that love. And as long as they're playing well out there on the court, they're going to get cheers. The guys are just more comfortable here. It's pretty much plain and simple. They know this place. They love this place. When they see that C-Paw in the center court, they're going to pick up their play.
Going into tonight's contest, the Mountaineers sit at dead last in the Big 12 in scoring, just under none other than the Cincinnati Bearcats, who sit at 15th in scoring. Justin, what factors do you think will put either team over the edge tonight?
Really, Miles, it is going to be scoring because these are two defensive teams that struggle to put the ball through the hoop. And I don't want to get too rudimentary here, but whoever wins is who puts the ball through the hoop more often. And that's proven to be a problem for both of these squads. But at the end of the day tonight, that's what's going to have to happen. West Virginia, they play such a slow game of basketball, 361st in the entire country in adjusted tempo. They're just not putting shots up. They're not playing fast. They're taking too much time off that shot clock, off that game clock every single play. And they don't really have the luxury to do that against a Bearcats team that is one of the best defenses in the country. In fact, number 10, according to the KenPom rankings, in the entire country. Well, something's going to have to give. Either Cincinnati's defense is going to falter or West Virginia is going to have to play faster. And it's kind of an interesting chess match between these two coaches because you obviously know this. You see on the film who you're going to attack, who you're going to go after, what's your game plan. I'm very curious to see what these two coaches have in mind, especially for the start of the game. I think these first 5 minutes will be very telling for how this offense is going to look for West Virginia, but also Cincinnati.
Speaking of West Virginia, who are some names we might hear a lot about tonight for the Mountaineers?
Well, we talked a lot about him pregame, Miles, but Honor Huff, not only is that one of the best names in college basketball, but he is a sniper from three-point land. All this guy does is shoot threes. I mean, and he does it well, 37.1% on the year for him. averages almost 16 points a game. He's their leading scorer, transferred him from Chattanooga. He is a guy we're going to hear a lot because even if he's not making these threes, he's going to shoot them. We're going to hear his name. He has the green light whenever the ball is in his hands, and we're going to hear about him a lot. I also think we're going to get quite a good game out of Brendan Lorient, the North Texas transfer. He's a little bit taller, 6'9", as opposed to Honor Huff's 5'10", so you've got a lot of different height difference there between those two. But Lorient had a nice game against Baylor, 19 points their last time out against Baylor. I look for him to kind of continue that against a Bearcats team that's a little bit weaker on their forward depth right now.
Now, this is the second meeting this year between these two teams. Last time in Morgantown, the Bearcats took a late lead and had chances to put the game to bed, but just couldn't quite put the last nail in the coffin. Going into that game, they were 8-0 with a lead with 5 minutes to go in the game, and they lost that game 62-60. Jizzle James was able to put up a last-second shot to try and win the game. Just a little too much power on it, couldn't quite put that through the hoop. Now, knowing this last contest, what adjustments do the Bearcats need to make to even this series 1-1?
I think what they have to do, to be honest, is they need to attack Honor Huff on defense. He is 5'10", 165. I weigh more than him. I'm taller than him. I would attack me if I was on the defensive end, so I would attack him if he's on the defensive end. You have scoring guards, Day Thomas, Jizzle James, very good scoring guards who are veterans and have been in the game a long time. They can go after the shorter player. You switch up, you play this pick and roll. You can maybe even get some mismatches too, depending on how that works out. If West Virginia switches on a pick and roll, you have him on Baba Miller then. And you give it down to him. You have to find the weak link on defense, and you have to attack it. And so personally, I think that has to be the goal, because they struggled to score the ball in Morgantown on January 6th when they first match up. They struggled to score the ball. Something needs to change. You need to attack the bad matchup, and you need to go out there and create high percentage shots, and I think that's the way to do it, is attack number 3 right there.
Of course, we mentioned West Virginia's struggles putting the ball through the hoop. They averaged just 70.8 points a game compared to the Bearcats, 71.5. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but they sit at 16 and 15 in the Big 12. These are two teams who struggle to put the ball in the hoop. So it will be a question of who can play with more pace, who can play with more momentum, who can play faster, who can attack the weaker links more. And as you said, the weak links for West Virginia come in momentum. So how do the Bearcats need to attack them in momentum to force turnovers and bring this one home here in fifth third?
Well, really, when you're not getting shots up very quickly or very many shots, you have to make the most of each possession. So every single turnover that Cincinnati forces, it is slowly chipping away, and not only West Virginia's chances of scoring more points, it chips away at time, because you know they're not going to have fast possessions. So Cincinnati, they really have to, I think typically you want to control the tempo of the game. That's something you hear. I'm going to go against that right now. Let West Virginia play their game. Let them take the time off the clock, because it helps you as long as you're scoring on the offensive end, as long as you're doing your job. West Virginia's going to start the struggle, and it's going to force them out of their tempo game. It's going to force them to play faster, and that's not what they're comfortable with. Really, what you have to do tonight is I think you need to play a little bit off. You need to surprise them. They're expecting them. West Virginia's expecting Cincinnati right now to play aggressive, to force them to play fast, but they're going to play slow anyways. If you play off, you give them that game early on, they're going to be a little bit thrown off. They're going to be rattled. Like, okay, what is Cincinnati doing? They're giving us these shots. They're giving us these certain plays. They're giving us these angles. Now, do we take it? Do we switch up? Do we play fast, or do we stick to our game? I think that's kind of the chess match you need to play here. Make West Virginia think. Make them think. As long as you're overthinking things, it's going to be tough to score the ball consistently.
And of course, some returning help for the Bearcats. Kara Krisha back in the lineup for the first time in a little over a month. Sincere Harris was listed as questionable before the game, but he will play today. And Mustafa Chiam was also listed as questionable, but he will start at center for the Bearcats. Of course, missing for the Bearcats as well will be Sean Abayev. And that's a lot of size that's missing from the Bearcats, and that's one factor that the Bearcats have over the Mountaineers. They have the size differential over the Mountaineers. Do you think the Bearcats will use their size in order to take this one home?
I think they will. I mean, when you have 7'2" Mustafa Cham, 6'11" Baba Miller in the starting lineup, And you're most likely going to be adding in Jalen Celestine, who's 6'7" as well. Even with the two smaller guards in Thomas and James, you're still fine with the size you have out there. If you can run that pick and roll game, you can get down low. You give Baba Miller some chances over some shorter players. You give Chom some chances. He likes that little jump hook, that short little jumper. You can get Chom some early work inside, build that confidence. I think that's really the thing that's going to get Cincinnati's offense going. West Virginia does have a 7-footer. They do, and that'll be tough to see who he guards, what his matchup is. Is he going to stick on Chom, or is he going to try to take down Baba Miller? One of the two is going to have to change.
That 7-footer coming in the way of Harlan Obioha, hailing from Hoxie, Kansas. And that's something I wanted to mention on the Mountaineers side. They have a very international team. They have Niall Howitt, hailing from Yokohama, Japan. They have Morris Ugasuk, hailing from Helsinki, Finland. And Trayson Eaglestaff, hailing from Bismarck, North Dakota, which might be the most obscure place out of all of this. How does this team gel, being from all these different places?
I mean, it's an interesting thing, too, especially in college basketball these days with the transfer portal. You're picking up new teams basically every year with the portal and recruiting, and you're picking up players from areas you probably never thought you'd be picking out. I don't see a native West Virginia player on this entire roster. Everything's out of state. Everyone's coming into this one place in Morgantown and trying to gel. It's tough. You ask me how you gel. It's really up to the coach. You have to create a culture. You have to create a culture that's accepting. You have to create a culture that is going to play hard and wants to win. Because at the end of the day, even if everyone's different on the team from different backgrounds, what do they all want to do? They're playing basketball. They all want to win. And so that's the culture you need to create. Ross Hodge, he has a winning background as a coach, comes to West Virginia now, has to bring in all these guys, but they want to win, they want to compete in the Big 12 Conference, and that's what makes these guys gel.
Ross Hodge, the first-year head coach for the West Virginia Mountaineers. He has been guaranteed for 5 years, $15 million. They believe in Ross Hodge, and rightly so. He has 206-56 lifetime record. However, he has struggled a little bit in the Big 12 so far, coming just 5-4 so far into Fifth Third Arena. But he's described as a defensive mastermind. He's a maestro. He comes from North Texas. And that's reflected in their style of play. They allow just 63.8 points per game. How does their defense play a factor in this game?
They're tough. They're scrappy. They're going to force Cincinnati into low percentage shots, which is something this Bearcats team is already susceptible to, but West Virginia's going to try to amplify that. They're going to close out fast, but when you get past them, when you fly by on those quick closeouts, they're going to have people rotate down. They're going to have Obioha rotate down their 7-footer to try to cut off lanes. And so Cincinnati's going to have to play smart, I think. You don't necessarily have to play slow. I don't think those two are mutually the same. You can play smart and you can play fast. I think those are the two things they have to do. Work that pick and roll. Work your guards. Let them shoot. If they have space, let it fly. You have good shooters on this roster. I just think you need to go out there, play your game, not overthink it, and you'll come away with some points. Even with this tough team, Ross Hodge, he has let up points before. It has been done, so you can't lose that confidence. You need to have that confidence. You need to envision the ball going through the hoop. And these Bearcats guys, especially at home, they do get it done on the offensive side of the ball.
Of course, West Virginia 14-8 on the year as we hear boos for Wes Miller. The Bearcats sit at 11-11, 3-6 in the Big 12. I asked this the last time I was on the air. I'll ask it again. Is there a hotter seat in the Big 12 than Wes Miller's?
I am going to refuse the comment, and I think that pretty much gives you my answer. To speak about Wes Miller as a whole, he's been with this Bearcats team for a while now. He's gone through a lot of roster turnover, a lot of change, and a conference change, going to the best basketball conference in the country. It's not an easy job, to have to play in the Big 12 and to have to win in the Big 12. He's recruited well. Sometimes the product isn't always out there on the court. But there's going to be those questions, and there's going to be meetings, and there's going to be a lot of talk and speculation for the rest of the season and even into the offseason about whether or not he's a Bearcat next year. And whether or not he is, I think the fans should support it either way, because he is repping the C-Paw, even if it's, in Jordans and a polo and not the suit. He is repping the C-Paw. He loves Cincinnati. And so whether or not he's here, whoever the coach is, I hope the fans continue to support, but there is going to be a lot of talk about that later in the season, Miles.
Starting lineups for the two teams this evening. It'll be Floyd Jasper at the 1 spot for the Mountaineers. Huff Honor at the shooting guard. He puts up more threes than anybody in the conference. Trayson Eaglestaff, number 52. He started all the games for the Mountaineers. He's listed as a guard, but he plays more like a small forward. Then you have Brennan Lorient at the forward position. He's number 0. And then you have the 7-footer Harlan Obiohan at the center position. Now, the 2 guards will be Dede Thomas and Chisel James. There's no surprise there. But the next 3 positions list Baba Miller, Tyler McKinley, and Jalen Celestine also drawing the starts today.
Celestine, I expected. He's been filling in for the lack of Abayev and Sincere Harris in recent games. Tyler McKinley is interesting. This is only his 2nd start on the season. He's seen a ramp up in minutes recently. They just switched him out with Baba Miller for the center tip. Maybe just trying to ease Mustafa Cham back into the game, but this is an interesting little lineup here from Wes Miller. We'll see how it works out.
And we pump it up here in Fifth Third Arena, awaiting tip-off. It'll be Baba Miller and the 7-footer Harlan Obioha awaiting on the CPAW for the tip. And it is really filled up here in Fifth Third. We were worried it was going to be a bit of a small turnout, but the student section has filled up, and we are just about underway. The tip is up, and it is won by Baba Miller. Chisel James picks it up on the halfway line, and we are underway. Goes to the left wing, crosses, kicks to Dede Thomas at the top of the key. Now to Baba Miller, he's at the top of the key. Now Chisel James, left wing, drives inside, free throw line, drives inside, over the 7-footer, and the Bearcats secure the first 2 points of the game.
And that was a nice move by Chisel James. Got in the paint, that quick hesitation with the pump dribble there, and he got Obioha overthinking, got an open lane and finished the shot.
Now Honor Huff covered by Dede Thomas to Eaglestaff, and there's a whistle. It will be called on the Bearcats. Off-ball foul on Tyler McKinley.
And you had McKinley in there early to take the load off of Mustafa Cham, but if he's picking up early fouls, we may see Cham a little bit sooner than Wes Miller wanted.
First foul coming 32 seconds into the contest. Inbound will be Jasper Floyd. He gets it into Honor Huff now at the top of the key. Switch made by Dede Thomas. Wide open in the 3-point line. Corner missed by number 1. That's Jasper Floyd. Rebound. Celestine to Baba Miller on the right wing. Now to Dede Thomas. Chisel James in the left corner. He drives baseline. He goes through. Celestine 3 off the front iron. Rebound McKinley. Dede Thomas long 3. No good off the front iron. Rebound Lorient.
You had 2 good chances there. You just couldn't get them to fall, but keep shooting those shots.
Huff by the Fifth Third logo on the right wing. He tries to get around Chisel James. No good. Dede Thomas now covering Floyd in the right wing. He drives baseline. Heavy defense being played from Dede Thomas, posting him up. He shoots a fadeaway jumper, and it is good for West Virginia's first 2 points of the night.
It's a nice move. Floyd's about the same size as Dede Thomas, but he used his strength there and just bullied him a little bit to get that space.
Chisel James brings it across the CPAW. He drives to the right wing, kicks it to Baba Miller at the top of the key. He drives, free throw line, hook shot! Little hook shot jumper for that. It fills it up for Baba Miller.
A slight bit unconventional, but if it goes in, it goes in.
Huff now at the CPAW, kicks it to Eaglestaff in the left wing. He drives, covered by Celestine. He launches a 3. Off the left iron, bounces over the backboard. Will be out of bounds off of the Mountaineers. Floyd will come off in place of Amir Jenkins. Chisel James now picks the inbound up as he crosses the time stripe. He's on the left wing now. He loses the dribble, picks it back up. Now Amir Jenkins covering him closely. Baba Miller now. Long sling pass, Jalen Celestine in the corner. Tyler McKinley now down low. Puts it up, no good. And rebounds Celestine in the paint. Chisel James thinks about it. Will, 3-pointer. Good for Chisel James beyond the arc.
I thought he might pass it up. He was a little bit hesitant, but he let it fly, and he made West Virginia pay. Chisel James got 5 of Cincinnati's first 7. He's playing well to start.
Amir Jenkins brings it across the CPAW logo. Now to the left wing, still covered by Chisel James. He pump fakes. Nothing there. Kicks it to Lorient. He gets it inside to Harlan Obioha. He tries to get it over McKinley, and McKinley, it'll be a travel on Harlan Obioha as the Bearcats get away with a little bit of stiff defense from Tyler McKinley.
He was using the body to bump back a little bit, but he was sliding his feet. And Obioha, he tried on that hop step, but he picked up the ball beforehand, and that's going to be called for a travel almost every time.
Obioha will be subbed out as number 5, DJ Thomas, will come in for the Mountaineers, hailing from Allen, Texas. It'll be Baba Miller to inbound. Mountaineers playing a little bit of full court press now. Dede Thomas will receive it from Miller. Guarded closely by Honor Huff all the way up to the court. Passes to C. Paul, and the time will start. Kicks to Jizzle James on the left wing. Covered by Jenkins. He gets to the top of the key. Now, right elbow jumper will fill it up. Jizzle James with his 7th points of the night.
And Jizzle James is staying hot. He had 17 a few games ago against Baylor. Now already with 7 tonight. He's on his way for another big scoring day.
Amir Jenkins covered by Jizzle James, 2-on-2. He kicks it to 5. He drives inside, baseline. Tries to get around McKinley, nothing there. He finds number 5 again, that's Thomas. Now kicks it to Amir Jenkins on the left wing. He drives, baseline. Over Jizzle James, won't get it, gets his own rebound, knocked away by Celestine. Fast break, Celestine crosses the timeline. Baba Miller drives, baseline, slam dunk for Baba Miller. And Ross Hodge needs a timeout.
What a play on the fast break. You had numbers, you had size, you had speed. Work it to the middle. You saw Baba Miller cut. You got the pass down low, and it's an easy one for Miller once he gets past the Mountaineer defense. What a start for the Bearcats. This is smart, good offensive play, Miles. Exactly what we talked about in the pregame.
Now, I'm getting excited myself, but we've seen this before. Bearcats doing Bearcat things. They get off to an early lead, and then slowly it gets chipped away at, and eventually they come up with nothing.
You know, those are second half problems. We're 4 minutes in. This is a good offensive start for the Bearcats, and especially Jizzle James. He's already got 7 of their 11, and he hasn't missed a shot yet. He's been really on a hot streak recently, and maybe he's exactly the guy that the Bearcats need to get hot down the stretch for the rest of the season. The numbers don't look good. The odds don't look good right now for the NCAA tournament. But if you win a lot of your rest of the games, the Big 12 Conference, if you work your way up to, let's say, 17, 18 wins, and you have a really good conference tournament, you're going to be in consideration. You have a win over the number 2 team in the country. If you pick up another ranked win down the stretch, you're gonna have to be talked about at the very minimum. And if Jizzle James continues to stay hot, maybe that's a possibility, Miles.
You definitely got to put him in the conversation. Coming into that timeout, the Bearcats were 3 of their last 3 from the field, a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes, and West Virginia has had a scoring drought of equal length at 2 minutes, 20 seconds. The score right now, 11-2, with 16:16 remaining on the clock. We'll take a short break here from Bearcat Sports Radio. And we return to you from Fifth Third Arena Bob Huggins, his two teams battling it out tonight. He coached both of them to an NCAA Final Four, was with West Virginia from 07 to 2023, and with Cincy from 89 to 2005. Of course, he took Cincinnati to the Final Four in 92 and took West Virginia to the Final Four in 2010. And then there was an incident in 2023, which we won't go into, as play resumes here at Fifth Third Arena.
I mean, obviously a legendary coach and coached these teams. Cincinnati when they were not in the Big 12 Conference, but coached these teams very, very well. And he has been honored, and he has actually showed up to Cincinnati games in the past year. Very, very well-known guy around here.
Now it'll be Honor Huff. Top of the key, blocked by Baba Miller. Gets the steal. He goes up, and it's a foul. It's a foul on Honor Huff down the stretch on the fast break. Bucket will not count for Baba Miller. A towering block from Baba Miller over the very short Honor Huff.
I mean, that's a good foul, because if you're Honor Huff, you're 11 inches shorter, you're not stopping Baba Miller one-on-one on the break. So that's a good foul from him.
Jizzle James now to Baba Miller on the right wing, to Celestine. Top of the key now by the Fifth Third logo. Kicks it to Baba Miller. He works on Lorient. He tries to drive inside, nothing there. Kicks it to Jizzle James, left wing, three-pointer. It's good! Fills it up. 14-2 the score now, Bearcat lead.
Jizzle James still hasn't missed a shot, Miles. He's on fire tonight.
Amir Jenkins crossed the time stripe, still on that C-paw. He goes baseline, left elbow. Now to number 5, that's DJ Thomas. Kicks it to 13, that's Chance Moore. Gets it outside to Huff. Back at the top of the key. Now to Lorient again, back to Huff, left wing now. Kicks it to number 2, that's Jenkins. The time clock is going down, 1 second left. Jenkins puts up an ugly shot off the back iron. Rebound, Baba Miller, fast break. Now on the right wing by the Fifth Third logo, he sizes up Huff, and it will go off of Chance Moore out of bounds.
Going back to that last defensive possession by the Bearcats, took them down to the entire shot clock and forced up a deep 2, which is one of the lowest percentage and one of the analytically worst shots in basketball. I mean, that is an incredible possession. They're going to watch that back on film, and they're going to be smiling.
And Kara Krisha comes back on the court for the first time in a little over a month, on for Celestine, losing a bit of size in order to gain some three-point shooting in the lineup. Jizzle James inbounds to Miller on the left wing. Covered by Thomas, kicks it to Krisha. Now at the top of the key, covered by Moore. Back to Krisha. Baba Miller, he's free baseline, tries to throw a pass to Jizzle James in the left corner, hits the backboard. Steal, I guess, off of Trayson Eaglestaff. Now to Obi Oha. Back to Chance Moore. He works on the right wing. Krisha drives. It'll be a foul on Chance Moore as Krisha takes the charge.
He immediately checks back in. He has the tape on his shoulder and everything. He's obviously hurting, but he still puts his body on the line, takes that contact, and draws the charge. A real team player.
Back like he hasn't missed a second. Dede Thomas receives the inbound, and he will cross the time stripe. Huff will go off, but he looks to come back on. Now to Baba Miller at the top of the key. Hands it off to Dede. Back to Baba Miller. Free throw line. Kicks it out to Krisha. He thinks about it. Won't. Back to Jizzle James. Left wing. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He drives inside. Free throw line. Jumper. Jizzle James' first miss of the day. And Zella will battle for the rebound with Trayson Eaglestaff. It will be West Virginia ball.
Yeah, Halvin Zella was a little bit too aggressive on the rebound. I love the intensity. I love the aggressiveness, but you can't bear hug the man from behind. That's going to be called for a foul every time.
The score 14-2, 14 minutes remain. The Bearcats are on a 12-0 run for the past 4 minutes. The Mountaineers aren't putting the ball in the hoop.
No, they're not getting a lot of shots off either, Miles, which is part of that slow tempo. And it's the Bearcats, they're letting them take this time off the clock. West Virginia needs to get something good here.
Eaglestaff now in the paint, posting up on Krisha, and it will be another drawn foul for Krisha.
I mean, talk about an impact without filling in the stat sheet. You will not see those plays from Krisha if you just look at the stat sheet after the game. But we see it. Everyone in this arena sees it. West Virginia sees it. I don't think they're going to try to attack him anymore.
Wes Miller might not be too happy seeing it. He needs his shooter on the floor as much as possible. Of course, recovering from a shoulder injury. And Jizzle James will take it across the C-paw. Covered by Jasper Floyd. Gets it to the left wing. Zella back to Karakarisha. He loses it, picks it back up. Now to Sincere Harris. Free throw line jumper on the right elbow. Will bounce off the rim in the backboard. Brought back by Chance Moore. He crosses the C-paw. He drives inside, almost stolen by Harris. Now to Eaglestaff. Huff thinks about it on the corner. Now it's Eaglestaff with a wide open three. He misses it off the front iron. And it'll be a called foul. On Jizzle James. It will be Mountaineer basketball. Harlan Obioha will go to the charity stripe for free throws. Stiff defense from Jizzle James will force the 7-footer to the line, as there are men in Speedos in the student section.
And we're not talking just a few. Maybe 10 or 15 right behind the basket, staring right into Harlan Obioha's soul. I mean, this is interesting. This is certainly an interesting sight. This had to have been planned pre-game, Miles, but I don't know by who or why.
Chance Moore will come off in place of Lorient, and Obioha will go to the line for one more, and he will sink both. Obioha with a 58.8 free throw percentage on the year. He's not too shabby from the charity stripe. Now to Celestine on the left wing. Back to Sincere Harris at the top of the key. Back to Celestine on the left wing again. Covered by Huff. Now to McKinley. Now to Jizzle James, top of the key. He kicks it to Krisha. Finds McKinley. Working on Obioha. Drives inside. Thinks about it. Back to Jizzle James. Shot clock winding down. Baseline. Harris. He has to put up an ugly shot. The shot clock did not buzz.
Harris stepped out of bounds when he was over on the corner. Didn't matter. He wouldn't have gotten a shot off either way. Just lost track of the shot clock there. It was a little bit too long of a possession. Harris had to shoot that when James passed it to him in the corner, and instead he tried to keep going.
Patented West Virginia defense. Floyd brings it up the court. Now at the right wing by the 5th-3rd logo, covered by Karakarisha. Now double teamed. He tries to drive inside. Karakarisha puts it over Karakarisha and will bounce off the iron several times, but falls in for the West Mountaineers' first points in nearly 6 minutes.
It's a nice shot by Jasper Floyd, but you need a little bit more than that. Maybe you start to go to him a little bit more often on the offensive side of the ball.
Jizzle James behind the back pass. Now Celestine, top of the key, three-pointer. Bounces off the back iron. Rebound. Jasper Floyd. Now it's to Honor Huff by the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. Covered by Jizzle James. He finds Lorian on the baseline. Back to Huff. Now to Floyd. Excellent perimeter passing. Finds Harlan Obioha in the paint, and he is fouled once again. Sloppy basketball, maybe a little bit so far the past couple minutes. It started off really strong for the Bearcats as they jumped out to an early lead. It seems to be slipping just a little bit with the missing presence of Day Thomas as they've added their injured players back in, Sincere Harris, Karakarisha. But the score 14-6, 12 minutes left, nearly 12 minutes left here in this first half. We'll take a short break here at Bearcat Sports Radio. I'm Miles Essenpreis, joined to you by Justin Dedrick. We'll be right back. and we welcome you back to Fifth Third Arena as tonight is Mental Health Awareness Night. Bearcats in all black to celebrate it. Amir Jenkins to inbound. Finds Obi Oha, almost poked away by Zella. Obi Oha working on the perimeter. Gets it to Honor Huff at the top of the key. Tries to get around Thomas, can't. Passes to Eaglestaff on the right corner, excuse me. Obi Oha finds Huff, left wing, three-pointer off the back iron. And poked away, it'll be Sincere Harris who comes down with it. Kerr Cretia now at the left wing. He will slow down the pace of play. Zella on the paint now. Gets it back to Kerr Cretia. Dede Thomas, top of the key. He drives inside, crosses up Obi Oha, gets it to Celestine in the corner. Three, it's good for Jalen Celestine. First.
He's been on such a hot streak in recent games. He had 15 points against Houston a game ago on the road. They keep finding him, and he keeps knocking down those threes. It's a good way to keep getting minutes.
Amir Jenkins now has it at the top of the key. Spin move around Jalen Celestine. Can't quite get it. Stolen away by Celestine. Sincere Harris drive, Euro step, finish, not quite good. Rebound, Harlan Obi Oha. Amir Jenkins kicks it to Eaglestaff. They're playing with pace now. Tries to get around, can't quite get it there. It will be out of bounds off of Brennan Lorien. Eaglestaff tried to sneak it around the arms of Kerr Cretia. Couldn't quite find the waiting arms of Lorien.
Sincere Harris, he dove in front of it to try to intercept it. He just ended up dolphin diving on the floor. But I think it took Brennan Lorien's eyes off the ball for just enough time to have let it go out of bounds. It's an interesting play, but Sincere Harris is so fun out there to watch and so good on the defensive end that whatever he does practically works.
Sincere Harris is just pure glue. Kerr Cretia kicks it to Dede Thomas, back to Cretia, top of the key. Covered by Huff, gets it back to Dede Thomas, left wing. Slows the pace of play down, now double teamed, gets it to Zella, left elbow, back out to Dede Thomas, shot clock ticking down. Dede Thomas loses it. Ball goes way up in the air, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He has to put up a shot. Baseline jumper, no good. And Zella will catch the ball, trying to throw it off of a West Virginia Mountaineer as he jumps out of bounds. Can't quite find it. It'll be 17-6 Bearcat lead. 10 minutes and 14 seconds remain in the first half.
Then they caught Trayson Eaglestaff for a very late foul right at the end of that shot clock. And so Cincinnati has a fresh 20.
Kerr Cretia will inbound it to Dede Thomas. Back to Sincere Harris at the top of the key near the CPAW logo. Sincere Harris surveys. Tries to find Dede Thomas streaking down the baseline. Now to Kerr Cretia on the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. Zella now at the top of the key. Finds Sincere Harris streaking. The layup off the backboard is good.
What a pass. You had that backdoor cut from Sincere Harris, and he's so fast. Once he gets back there, you just can't catch up. West Virginia failed to rotate, and an easy one for Sincere Harris.
Halvine Zella's 3rd assist on the year. Eaglestaff will drive baseline, tries to get it out, finds DJ Moore. He puts up a 3 off the front iron, back off the backboard, won't go. Sincere Harris pushes the pace now. Across the time stripe. Now to Kerr Cretia. He fires one from the left wing, off the front iron, rebound Eaglestaff. Grabbed by DJ Thomas, excuse me. Now it's Jasper Floyd by the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. Finds Lorien in the paint. He tries to get over 3. It'll be a jump ball, and it will be Mountaineer basketball. A little bit more on that. Halvine Zella's 3rd assist on the year. It's not like he's getting a lack of minutes, but he just doesn't pass the ball that well. Of course, him being a big man, but nice to see him get another assist on the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's not much of an offensive hub, and that's no diss at Halvine Zella. It's just not the way that they use him for the Bearcats. He's a hustle, defensive, rebounding guy, and that's what he spends most of his energy on. You're just not going to give him the ball in the low post and expect him to make the pass back out to the perimeter.
Huff thinks about it from the left wing. Now to DJ Thomas. He drives baseline, covered by Zella. Nothing there. Kicks it. Corner. Lorien will drive. He puts it up, and it will rattle in and out and in for Brennan Lorien. Now Dede Thomas brings it across the CPAW logo. He will slow it down on the advice of Wes Miller. Gets it to Celestine on the left wing. He drives. Kicks it long range pass to Keyshawn Tillery. Thinks about a corner 3, won't. Now by the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. He drives inside, kicks it to Baba Miller. He thinks about a 3. Back to Tillery. Shot clock winding down. He drives inside. Free throw. Now it's Celestine. He makes a man jump. Now it's Tillery. He has a second left to put up a shot. and it won't fall. Rebound, Chance Moore. Chance Moore pushes the pace. Now to Honor Huff. Day Thomas covering. Huff drives baseline. Nothing there. Tries to find Jasper Floyd, and he will get the up and under basket. It is a 19-10 Bearcat lead. Day Thomas kicks to Celestine on the left wing by the CPAW logo now. Drives, finds space, finger roll, no good. Hal Vanzella tips it. Day Thomas, free throw line jumper, it's good.
The Bearcats needed that one just to get some more points on the board. West Virginia was starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm, and that short mid-range jumper is Day Thomas's signature shot, and he knocks it down like normal.
Short two for Day Thomas. Makes the score 21-10. Bearcat lead as Chance Moore will drive baseline. Nothing there. Tries to kick it out over Baba Miller. Now it'll be Brennan Lorient on the left wing. He kicks it to Honor Huff. Now at the left wing. That's his favorite spot. Top of the key now covered by Baba Miller. He tries to drive on Baba Miller. Finds Chance Moore, but it will be a foul on Hal Vanzella. Excuse me, that was DJ Thomas who went for the slam over Zella. Couldn't quite put it in the hoop, but will draw the foul. I believe that's Hal Vanzella's second or third foul. Third foul on the game. He has definitely not been sparing with how much he is, with how stiff he's playing his defense.
Yeah, he's only had 7 minutes tonight and 3 fouls. That's not really the minute to foul ratio you like to see, but he's played aggressive. He's been going out there and hustling, but we are going to see a little bit more Tyler McKinley.
And Mustafa Chiam was listed as questionable for this game, but he has not seen action on the court just yet.
He is not dressed to play either. I see him over there, sweatpants and a hoodie. He will not play tonight. So Hal Vanzella with 3 fouls already is not necessarily good, because your center rotation is Tyler McKinley, who we saw pick up an early foul, and Hal Vanzella, who has 3 fouls, and then Baba Miller, who is 6'11", so he can play down low if need be, but he's much better in that off kind of power forward, point forward position. Now you have a little bit of a problem, because you can either run with your bigs until they get into foul trouble, or maybe try to play some small ball lineups, but West Virginia can take advantage of that.
Kerr Krisha being back in the lineup will be beneficial for the small ball lineup. Mustafa Chiam out with a foot injury. Sean Abayev out with undisclosed reasons. And Sincere Harris was listed as questionable, but he has certainly made a difference for the Bearcats here in this first half.
It's nice to see Buck Harris back in. He just plays with so much heart, so much passion, and so much hustle. And he's made defensive plays so far. I think he's been a good connecting passer on offense. And even if he's not really a big scorer, not really a big passer, he can handle the ball and he can make those connective passes to make plays happen. And those don't show up on the stat sheet, but you don't get the assist for it, but it certainly is there. And you watch the film, you watch the game back, you really see him making these plays happen.
Jizzle James has 8 minutes on the day. He's taken the last 3 minutes to rest. I believe the Bearcats have really been missing his contribution to the lineup, because he was hot to start the game. He has 10 points already. He went 4 for 5 from the field to start the game.
Yeah, and I expect him to check back in here probably after this timeout, or if not, at the next dead ball substitution, because they need his offense back in there. They need his shot creation and his shot making. And so I think you're going to either get him in now or very soon, and then probably keep him in for the remainder of this first half.
Bearcats have been attacking the boards tonight as well. They have a total of 10 compared to the West Virginia 8. 3 now for Jalen Celestine and 2 for Baba Miller, as well as 2 for Sincere Harris. He hustles, and only 2 West Virginia Mountaineers have 2 rebounds. That's Chance Moore and Harlan Obioha, the 2 tallest players on their team.
They're just not, and Miles, maybe you think differently, but I just don't think West Virginia's played with much urgency tonight, or much hustle at all. They're getting outrun, they're getting outpaced by Cincinnati, and I just think they're getting out-passioned is not a word, but they're getting out-passioned right now because they just haven't been playing with a lot of heart and hustle out there, and I'd like to see them pick that up.
And that's something we've been missing from the Bearcats. Even when they seem to play better when they're on the ropes. They play hungrier when they're teetering below 500, teetering on 500. They play hungrier when there's something to lose. And right now they're playing with something to lose. At least it certainly looks that way.
I think they're feeding off this home energy too. I mean, not only did the fans show up, but we have some extracurricular activities going on in the student. They've now picked up a man in a Speedo, and he is swimming in the air. I mean, they're feeding off of the energy that the crowd is bringing tonight as well, and that really energizes the squad.
These Bearcat faithful certainly not afraid to show off all of their fandom. DJ Thomas will sink his first free throw, cutting the Bearcat lead to 10. It'll be 21-11 with 7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first half. He will make both. Something to note, they're not great at shooting the free throw either. They shoot 68.6%. I believe they're the worst free throw shooters in the Big 12.
Besides us, we shoot 66%.
Yeah.
So, you know, you give away those free points, and that's maybe contributing to why West Virginia is also the lowest scoring Big 12 team.
But we will resume play. Jizzle James now back in the lineup. He's on the Paul logo, guarded by Amir Jenkins. Kicks it to Dede Thomas on the left wing. He gets around him. Back to Jizzle James. He'll drive off the screen to Miller. Finds Celestine in the corner. He's guarded. Now to Baba Miller on the big man. He shoots a three. No good. Now 3 for 34. But Jizzle James picks up the rebound. Keyshawn Tillery, long three. He's left wide open off the back iron. And there's a foul on the court. It'll be on 55, Harlan Obioha. It was 4 West Virginia players going up for that rebound and just the lonesome Baba Miller, and Baba Miller draws the foul.
I think it was very interesting to see the Baba Miller step back three, not on my bingo card for tonight's game.
Dede Thomas to inbound. He finds Celestine in the left corner, Jizzle James now working on Amir Jenkins. He finds the screen to Miller. Jizzle James kicks to Dede Thomas at the top of the key. Screen Celestine, Dede Thomas, free throw line jumper, it's good. Fills it up, 23-12 now, the Bearcat lead.
That's a nice move. You got that big extended crossover, just gives you a little bit more space when you cross that over to your left hand, and Thomas made him pay, hit that deep jumper.
Amir Jenkins now on the Paul logo, guarded by Tillery, now to Obioha, covered by Baba Miller. And Baba Miller is swallowing him up. Now to Chance Moore, he drives inside, covered by Jizzle James. He shoots a fadeaway two-pointer. Won't go. Rebound. Now Jalen Celestine drives. Hard defense from Lorient. Looked to be a foul there. None called. Honor Huff now, top of the key. Tries to find Lorient, and he does in the paint. Good for a slam dunk for Brennan Lorient.
It was a nice play, nice pass. Again, West Virginia, they're not going to get a lot of shots up, but when they do, they're going to be open, and that was one of those instances where you got a wide open dunk.
Jizzle James now on the claw, the Seapaw, drives right wing, behind the back, right elbow jumper, won't go off the left iron. Gets it to Huff now, he crosses the timeline. On the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. Now he's covered by Dede Thomas, he drives inside, nothing there. Gets it to Lorient. Lorient now at the top of the key, covered by Celestine. He loses his dribble, he falls back on top of it. Celestine falls on top of him. It'll be a jump ball. Referees still haven't decided which way the ball's going. It will be Bearcat basketball. 23-14, the Bearcat lead, only leading by 9 now. Both Celestine and I believe it was Chance Moore dove on that. The jump ball will go Cincinnati's way as the referees continue to talk to the coaches. Baba Miller will inbound to Jizzle James. We are back underway. Jizzle James crosses the timeline, working on Floyd. He's really working on Floyd. Runs into Baba Miller. Kerr Krisha now in the right corner. Kerr Krisha brings it around the perimeter. Now to Celestine on the right wing. Kicks it to Baba Miller. He's now baseline. He drives baseline over the much shorter Jasper Floyd, and it will be good for Baba Miller's 6th point of the game.
We haven't seen a lot of Baba Miller in the half court. His points have come off of transition and fast break, but it's nice to see him being a little bit more aggressive.
Jasper Floyd with so much space to drive, but they'll lose it. Kerr Krisha finds the steal. He's driving. Slows pace, 3 off the front iron. Can't quite get it to fall. Might have been a long 2. Foot may have been on the line. Now to Chance Moore. He's on the right wing. Whoa! And Kerr Krisha takes another charge.
He is making plays on the defensive end. I really wish that plays like that, charges and things that were plays that were tracked in college and showed up on the stat sheet, because unfortunately they're not. They are tracked in the NBA, but they're not in college. He took a hit. That is the left shoulder lowered right into your neck area. He's taking a beating.
And Karakrisha points to his temples. He's playing smart, and he knows it. Jizzle James down on the CPAW logo, covered by Jenkins. It'll be Celestine. Now to Miller on the top of the key. Miller will drive. He'll get there, and he will. A beautiful kiss off the glass for a Bearcat bucket, and it is 27-14, a 13-point Bearcat lead with just over 4 minutes to go in this first half.
They've picked it back up on offense, and West Virginia is turning the ball over, Miles, which is the big thing. 3 turnovers in their last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. They have to hold on to it. They have to hold on, or it's going to be a problem.
The turnover margin reads 8 turnovers for the West Virginia Mountaineers and 2 turnovers for the Cincinnati Bearcats. We've seen big turnover margins on the Bearcat side. Their first game of the year against West Carolina had 20-something turnovers. The Bearcat defense forced 20-something turnovers. The Bearcats, they're good at forcing turnovers. They force 12.5, or they force 13.3 a game. This is a confident and shifty defense, and they're proving it tonight as the Mountaineers can't seem to hold on to the basketball.
Yeah, in Cincinnati, they're swiping it away. They're getting a lot of steals. When West Virginia is getting into the middle of the paint, right around the free throw line, that's where a couple of Cincinnati steals have come from. Sincere Harris and Kirk Kriesa just get in there, swipe it away, and they run on the break, and they run in transition, and they got a few of their points that way. But West Virginia, a couple of those turnovers are from the charges as well, drawn from Kirk Kriesa. Those aren't going to show up again as steals or anything for Kirk Kriesa, but those are offensive turnovers for the Mountaineers, and those need to stop, because sometimes steals, throwing passes out of bounds, those happen, but charges are preventable.
Definitely, and as preventable as they are, Karakrisha is sure good at drawing them. But the score line reads 27-14 with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcat Sports Radio. I'm Miles Essenpreis, joined you by Justin Dedrick. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Fifth Third Arena. Something to watch out for. The Mountaineers are 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. The Cincinnati Bearcats 3 for 10 from the three-point line. And this is a team that shoots a lot of threes, especially from Honor Huff. But Honor Huff hasn't been open enough to shoot the three. He only has 2 3-point shots on the night, and he's missed both of them.
Yes, Cincinnati's been all over them, and that's part of their defensive game plan. Don't let Honor Huff get those open shots, because he'll make you pay. He'll knock them down. So if you stay on him, no matter what, even if you're in a zone, I think Cincinnati, if they do end up switching to a zone, which I think will happen in the second half, they're going to be almost running a zone in one, box in one, and they're going to keep one guy on Honor Huff, because no matter what, you do not want him getting open. Right now, it's Day-Day Thomas on him.
Jenkins will cross the timeline. He's working on the left wing. The screen from Lorient. Lorient goes up, and the dunk is denied by Baba Miller, but it will fall to DJ Thomas, who puts the layup in.
A great block, but just an unfortunate way for the ball to fall right into DJ Thomas's hands.
Jizzle James now with the C-Paul logo, screened by Day Thomas. Jizzle James picks it up back on the left wing. He drives. There's no one there. Euro step makes a man miss, and it's off the side of the backboard. Lorient was absolutely lost as Amir Jenkins takes it across the timeline. He's at the top of the key. Now to Eagle Staff on the 5th-3rd logo by the right side. Back to the top of the key. Eagle Staff now finds DJ Thomas. Back to Eagle Staff. Now to Amir Jenkins. Finds Honor Huff in the corner. He drives inside, gets it to Chance Moore, and that was Brennan Lorient, and he'll throw down the ferocious dunk.
West Virginia is starting to get on a hot streak. 5 of their last 7 from the field.
27-18 now the Bearcat lead. Cut to 9. Jizzle James now by the 5th-3rd logo on the right side. Kerr Krisha now on the right corner. Krisha finds Jizzle James now by the left wing. Kicks it back to Krisha. Now to Day Thomas. He drives inside to the free throw line. They lost Amir Jenkins, but the 3 from Jizzle James will rattle in and out. Now to Eagle Staff on the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing. Covered by James. The screen will be DJ Thomas. Eagle Staff has space in the baseline. Kicks it to Lorient, who is fouled on the layup attempt. And it'll be an and 1 for Brendan Lorient. The Mountaineers have caught life. They are 6-0 in the last 1 minute and 19 seconds. 3 of their last 3 from the field.
Yeah, they're just playing a little bit smarter now, which is what we talked about in the pregame. They need to play smart, and even though they're sticking with that slow pace, they're starting to hit their shots, and I think the big thing, Miles, we've seen is they're working the ball inside. Cincinnati is focusing so much on the perimeter shots, so much on Honor Huff and those three-point attempts, that West Virginia is now going inside to guys like Lorient and Thomas.
Zella will come back in as Lorient missed the free throw, not allowing the three-point play to come true. Now it'll be Sincere Harris. He looks to drive. He's working on Eagle Staff, posting him up. Spin move. And it'll be poked away, but it'll be a foul on Trayson Eagle Staff. Another one of the best names in college basketball. Excuse me.
No, it is on Eagle Staff. That's going to be his 2nd foul, though. West Virginia hasn't really gone too deep into their bench. So if Eagle Staff gets targeted a little bit more, picks up a 3rd, it'll be an interesting decision for Ross Hodge.
And the bonus is in effect for Cincinnati, so Sincere Harris will go to the line. It'll be 1-1 for number 5. Sincere Harris, not great from the charity stripe, but then again, not everyone on the Bearcats are, as he'll sink his first one. Sincere Harris shoots 61.1% from the charity stripe. He makes his first, 28-20, now the Bearcat lead. Bearcats with 6 fouls. They are in the bonus as West Virginia has 7. And Sincere Harris' 2nd will be off the front iron, but it'll be a foul on the Bearcats. It'll be Mountaineer basketball. 2 minutes, 23 seconds remain in the first half. 28-20 the lead for the Bearcats. Huff to inbound. He's struggling to find space, but he does. Now it'll be Jasper Floyd bringing it up the court, covered by Jizzle James. He's now on the C-Paw, past the time stripe. He works it to the baseline on the right side. Posting up on Kerr Krisha. Now the trap comes. And it will be found by Lorient in the paint now. And it'll be poked away by Jizzle James. Fast break. Sincere Harris finds Jizzle James. He'll go up and under. The jelly, no good. Rebound, Baba Miller. But it'll be a foul and West Virginia basketball.
I think they might catch Halveen Zella for basket interference there, which is unfortunate. Jizzle James' layup just hung on the rim, and you can't touch the ball or the rim when it's there.
It'll be Amir Jenkins bringing it across the timeline now. He's by the 5th-3rd logo on the right wing, covered by Krisha. And it'll be the Eagle Staff by the C-Paul logo. Finds Lorient. Lorient drives. He's covered by Krisha. He does not want to mess with him. Trap comes. Covered by Krisha and Baba Miller. They'll find Eagle Staff in the corner. His shot will be off the right iron. Rebound, Obioha. Tries to put it up, and he is fouled on the shot. And that will put the Mountaineers in the bonus. They allowed Eagle Staff to get an open three-pointer in the right corner. He misses it, and Obioha just gets a big boy rebound using all of that 7-foot, 265-pound frame to snatch that one from the Bearcats.
The biggest thing with that foul there, Miles, is Halvin Zella is at 4. He is a 1 away from being out of this game, and Cincinnati is already down a center in Mustafa Cham. They might be out 2 centers pretty quickly in the second half. You're going to have to start running a very small or a very thin rotation.
Obioha misses his first. And he misses both. And Sincere Harris will pick up the ball. 1 minute, 20 seconds remain. Jizzle James will bring it across the half-court line through his legs. Now to Kerr Creech on the right wing. Back to Jizzle James at the C-paw. They're holding the ball. He can't get free. Sincere Harris screen. Now to Celestine in the corner. He'll drive, spin move, half spin, won't go. Right elbow. Sincere Harris baseline. It's out of bounds off of Sincere Harris. That is Mountaineer basketball.
Just had it poked away, tried to come back up with it. Couldn't fully grab it and went out of bounds. Unfortunate here. Cincinnati, there's less than a minute left. West Virginia can play for the 2-for-1, and I'm willing to bet that they will. Just need to play 2 strong defensive possessions.
Dede Thomas checks back in for Krisha as 23 Ugasuk will come off for the Mountaineers. Morris Ugasuk hailing from Helsinki, Finland, and play resumes. Jasper Floyd brings it up the court. He takes his time, and he will cross the half-court line. Jizzle James the coverage. Now to be to Amir Jenkins. He's trapped on the left side, covered by Sincere Harris. He is stuck to him like glue. Finds some space, now covered by Miller on the right wing. Now it'll be Floyd, covered by Jizzle James. He looks to find a shot. 5 on the shot clock. Now it's number 5, Thomas. He bounces off. It'll rattle in and out. Dede Thomas will slow down the pace of play. Shot clock is turned off. They want to have the last shot of the half.
Yeah, West Virginia took too long to play for that 2-for-1, so now it's in Cincinnati's hands.
Dede Thomas letting time roll out. Kicks it to Baba Miller. Wes Miller screaming instructions from the sideline. Baba Miller listening for his coach. 5 seconds remain on the time. Baba Miller drives up and under, and it's good. Fills it up with a hard layup, and the Mountaineers won't get a shot off before time expires, so the Bearcats will head into the locker room with a 10-point lead. 30-20 the score going into the second half.
Not bad if you're the Bearcats here. You've played good on defense. West Virginia has not hit a 3-pointer all game. So you're doing very well on the defensive side of the ball, limiting those perimeter shots. Offensively, you're not playing bad either. 41% from the field you'll take, but you want to hit a couple more threes and probably put up a few more shots as well. But overall, not a bad half. Wes Miller will talk to his team, make some changes. Ross Hodge is obviously going to need to make some offensive changes with only 20 points. But if you're a Bearcats fan, you're happy. If you're a West Virginia fan, you see the light of day. You see hope because there's only a 10-point difference without hitting a 3. But you do need to make some adjustments.
And the stats look pretty similar for both teams. They both shooting around 40%. The Mountaineers shooting exactly 40%. They're 8 for 20 from the field, and the Bearcats 40.6%. They're 13 and 32. They're getting more shots up because they're forcing more turnovers.
Yeah, and they're also playing a lot faster, which just means they're getting more chances on the offensive side of the ball. Even with how long West Virginia is taking, Cincinnati, they're not going to take nearly as long. They're going to get up their shots when they see it. Guys like Kirk Risa, they shoot pretty fast. You know, they have that quick trigger, that green light.
And West Virginia, for being such a strong three-point shooting team going into this contest, they shoot 35.5% from beyond the arc. They have still not made a three-pointer. Excuse us. We're looking at the halftime show right now, and there's hula hoops, and it is the Sherwood Rappin' Ropes.
Is that a garden gnome at midcourt?
I think it is. He has a cape, and he has a beard with like a Robin Hood hat deal.
Please tell me the garden gnome is about to hula hoop here, or jump rope.
There's hula hoops, there's jump ropes, there's cheerleaders on the sideline. We'll take a break here at Bearcat Sports Radio as the halftime show is underway. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, in the Fifth Third Arena. Halftime winding down. Only 40 seconds remain on the halftime clock. Cincinnati in the lead, 30-20 over West Virginia. Cincinnati trying to get back over 500 here at home. Justin Dedrick joined alongside Miles Essenpreis. Miles had a great first half call, and Cincinnati played good defense in that first half. It was really the story of the half. What did you see personally from the Bearcats defense that really excited you?
I mean, they were guarding the perimeter well. They weren't allowing people like Honor Huff to get the three-point shot off. He had 6 threes last time against Cincinnati, and he's only shot 2 shots, and both of them three-pointers. West Virginia still hasn't made a three-point shot. They've put up 9 from beyond the arc and haven't made a single one. I'm very impressed with their perimeter defense when really it was astonishing how many threes they were able to riddle off from the Bearcats in Morgantown.
And for Cincinnati, Miles, they got off to a really hot start and the offense cooled down later in the half. However, I think the story for them is they're going to run into some troubles with big man depth because Halveen Zella picked up 4 fouls, Tyler McKinley has 2 fouls, and there's no Mustafa Chum.
Yeah, Zella's in foul trouble. McKinley's in foul trouble. They're running out of big men and fast. They're going to need to switch to a smaller ball style, which I think they have. Excuse me, no, they don't. They're back to their starters in Day-Day Thomas, Jizzle James, Baba Miller, McKinley, and Celestine.
We'll see if Cincinnati has to go to that smaller lineup later in the game, like you mentioned. Starting out is Jasper Floyd, and he throws that one too far out of bounds, out of the reach of Obioha. West Virginia's 10th turnover, first of the second half.
Jasper Floyd still looking to settle into this one. Just a bit of a wayward pass to Obioha, trying to get in the paint.
30-20, 50 total points in this one. Cincinnati in the lead by 10, their first offensive possession of the second half. It's Jizzle James, guarded tightly by Floyd, now gives to Miller. Miller working to his right, down on the block, swing pass down low to a cutting McKinley. He lost it, came back up with it. Pass deep out in the perimeter to James. He left the 3 short, rebounded by Floyd.
Jizzle James has cooled down massively in this second half, and really this last 10-15 minutes.
Huff spun and put up a contested 3 over James. Honor Huff still has not been able to find his shot. James's pass on the break was picked off by Floyd. Gives to Huff, now back to Floyd. On the Fifth Third logo, right side wing. Takes the screen, working to his left, gives back to Huff. Down low, Obioha had the switch on the Jizzle James, and they'll call James for a foul, pushing from behind.
And more on Jizzle James. When he gets hot, he gets red hot. And when he gets cold, he gets icy blue cold. And right now he's in one of those cold stages, not having scored since maybe 10 minutes in the first half, and he's put up 10 shots.
Eagle staff gets it on the inbound. He drives inside, tied up. Ball rolls out of bounds. It will stay with the Mountaineers.
More solid defense from the Bearcats. Looked like stiff defense, but no foul called.
Eagle staff is West Virginia's third leading scorer. He's still looking for his first points tonight. Inbounding is Floyd, gets into Obioha. Guarded by McKinley, hand off to Eagle staff on the perimeter. Working to his left, baseline on Celestine, kicks back out to a cutting Floyd. Floyd in the paint, gets James in the air, spins. The hook is off the back iron, no good, rebounded by Miller.
Baba Miller's been grabbing those tall rebounds all year, just too easy for the tall guy.
Miller gets it, works to his left, and he is fouled on the drive inside. They'll catch Harlan Obioha with that one. His second foul. And Baba Miller will head to the free throw line for the second time tonight. He is 0 for 1. No, that is his first time. I'm reading the stats wrong, Miles.
Happens to us all. Baba Miller, not exceptional from the charity stripe, but definitely no slouch. Shooting 63.5% from the free throw line, as Obioha and Miller will dap up. Seemingly an apology from Obioha.
Some claps from the West Virginia bench as well. They like the sportsmanship. Miller at the line. No crazed fans in his view for his free throws, unlike West Virginia. Miller's up and good for his first. Struggled a game ago against Houston, only 2 points. Had 8 rebounds, but he was 1 for 8 from the field. Not really what we're usually used to seeing out of Baba Miller. Tonight he's got 11. A chance to make it 12 with this second free throw.
I believe the Speedo-laden men have either gone home or put clothes on.
And Miller does make it second. There is a gap over there on the student section where they used to be. Potentially they've moved over to this side too. Who knows? This is where West Virginia will be shooting free throws in the second half. It's 32-20 is the Cincinnati lead. 18-20 left to go in the second half. Lorient down low working on Miller. The hook is left short. Good contest by Miller. Obioha is there for the offensive board and the putback with the foul. He'll head to the line, try to complete the three-point play.
Good for McKinley's third foul. More and more big man foul trouble is piling on for the Bearcats. Great defense from Baba Miller. He was straight up, but McKinley definitely got an arm on Obioha's putback, and he'll go to the line.
We'll see Halvin Zella check back in, and Zella only has one more foul before he has to sit for the rest of the game. He may just be in until he picks up that fifth.
You got to think what Wes Miller was saying to Zella on the byline. Whatever you do, don't put your arms out in front of you. Keep them straight up. If Zella draws his fifth foul, Cincinnati will have to majorly change their defensive and offensive strategy here in the second half.
Obioha connects on his free throw to finish the three-point play. 32-23, Cincinnati in the lead. 18 minutes to go in this one. Thomas deep up top, guarded by Huff. Now gives to Miller, working on Lorient. Hand off to Celestine, working to his left. He's doubled. The pass to Miller went off of a West Virginia player's foot. They called an off-ball foul on the Mountaineers. It'll go on Honor Huff. Just his second. And Cincinnati will inbound from the baseline. It'll be Jizzle James to pass it in.
And no worries, the Speedo-clad men are still in the sideline, or in the stands. They have transferred to the other side.
Thomas on the left wing, guarded by Huff tightly. Thomas gets past him on the baseline, kick past the other side. Celestine corner three, and he connects. Jalen Celestine, second three of the night for him.
Yeah, he's put up 4 shots and is now 2 for 4 from beyond the arc.
Bearcats in the lead by 12. Obioha up top, guarded by Zella. Looking for Amir Jenkins, gets it to him, working to his left on James, kick back out. Eaglestaff puts up a deep three. Off the mark, rebounded by Baba Miller. Gives up to James, over to Thomas, thought about the three, getting past Eaglestaff, now inside. Swinging around the perimeter, Miller has it, working to his left, drive and dump pass down low to Zella, but they'll call him for a travel before the shot.
It was a good idea. It was great ball movement from Baba Miller, who passes the ball especially well for a 6'11" forward. But Zella just picked up his dribble, couldn't quite get the basket before he traveled.
Honor Huff with it for West Virginia. He's their leading scorer on the year, but still looking for his first points of the night. Switches on to Miller off the screen, now gives to Eaglestaff. Working on Celestine, now down low, it's Lorient. Backing down Thomas, they'll swing it around. The other side, Jenkins trying to find his way on inside. 3 on the shot clock, forced to put up a tough turnaround jumper. He misses, and it's rebounded by Zella.
Huff still looking for his first points of the contest.
James faked the three, got Obioha in the air, took one step into the three-point line, missed the jumper, but the offensive board goes to Halvin Zella. Kick back out, Thomas, now he'll retreat. 14 on the shot clock, guarded by Huff, deep in the perimeter. Putting on the move, step back to his left, a short jumper, and Day Thomas connects.
For a shorter guard, Day Thomas drives exceptionally well, especially being just 6'1", 190. He's a smaller guy, and he gets to the rim with proficiency.
37-23 is the Cincinnati lead after the Thomas bucket. 16:06 left to go in this one. We'll take a short break here on Bearcat Sports Radio and return after this timeout. Returning back to Fifth Third Arena after the timeout. Cincinnati in the lead, 37-23, 16:06 left to go. It will be Mountaineer basketball. Kurt Kriesa checked in for the Bearcats after that timeout, and for the Mountaineers, DJ Thomas into the game.
Kurt Kriesa has not put up a point on the stat sheet yet, but has made his presence known so far, drawing 3 travels.
Eagle staff down low, working on Kriesa, kicks back out. They'll swing it around, Huff on the opposite side corner. Now Chance Moore, he also checked in that timeout. He's guarded by Miller. Shakes Miller, gets space with the drive and finishes through contact. That is 5 on Halveen Zella.
That play by Chance Moore was absolutely ridiculous. He was pushed to the floor earlier in the play, found himself in the corner, absolutely shook one of the best defenders in college basketball, and then finished through Zella's contact for the bucket and the and one. Just a brilliant offensive possession from Chance Moore.
And Chance Moore will head to the line to try to connect this three-point play, but that did bring us to another timeout pretty quickly from the last one. Actually, let me do this quick math here, Miles. 21 seconds of play between timeouts, a little bit interesting.
That's the landscape of TV and media that we've all come to accept in our lives. As annoying as it may turn out to be, it's certainly necessary for the Bearcats to keep playing basketball here in Fifth Third, I think.
This game on ESPN2 tonight, so contributing to some of the media timeout extensions and some of the operations around the arena. Cincinnati, they are in the lead, 37-25. They've played a good game so far on defense, holding West Virginia to only 25 points through almost 25 minutes of play. 1 point per minute's not really the rate you want to be at, Miles.
No, not at all. And, of course, we've talked about it. They've struggled to put points on the board all season, but this is slow even for their standards. I mean, they put up 70.8 points per game, and right now they're not even halfway. I mean, the Cincinnati defense is good, but I think the Mountaineers are just playing sloppy basketball tonight, not getting to the rim, not being efficient from beyond the arc, not being efficient at shooting even the mid-rangers. They've just been all around poor shooting from the field, except when it comes to these short paint points, which they're drawing fouls on. They're getting and ones. They're converting three-point plays, which is putting points on the board for them. But even then, their scoring output is pretty abysmal here so far.
Yeah, they have not been able to connect on any three-pointers. Their leading scorer on the year, Honor Huff, he's just under 16 points a game. He has 0. And their third leading scorer, Trayson Eaglestaff, he's 10.5 on the year. He's got 0. They just haven't gotten much production from their stars.
And Brennan Lorient, their top scorer of the night, he averages 10.9 a game. He's one of their lower scorers, and right now he's almost at his point per game average. And the scoring isn't really spread out either. You've got 4 points from DJ Thomas, you've got 2 points from Chance Moore, 8 points from Brennan Lorient, 6 from Floyd, and 5 from Obioha. A lot of their points have been coming down low in the paint with their big men, and that's just not how they're efficient at scoring. They're efficient from the perimeter. They're efficient from the three. They just haven't been able to get that working, so they've had to rely and really lean on their big men, and they're just not used to doing that.
They're playing a different brand of basketball, or rather I say Cincinnati is forcing them to play a different brand of basketball with their defensive intensity. Out of the timeout, it will be Chance Moore at the line to shoot his free throw, try and finish the three-point play. That bucket was his first of the night. 2 points, 4 boards for Chance Moore. Of course, the students in Speedos have moved to the other side, so Chance Moore has to look at him, and they have currently, the Bearcat is being held in the air.
The Bearcat's also in a Speedo.
The Bearcat found the Speedo somehow. Moore missed it, was affected by the student section. And now it's Jizzle James
McKinley comes in for Zella, who has fouled out of the contest.
We'll see a lot more McKinley for the last 15 minutes. James in the left corner, guarded by Eaglestaff. To Miller, back to James, driving baseline. He's doubled, retreats back out to Thomas. 8 on the shot clock. Thomas deep up top. Gives to Creasa. Now Miller down low. He's facing another double. Step back deep three by Baba Miller, and that one's off the mark. Not Miller's shot.
Baba Miller has been pretty awful from beyond the arc this year. I'm not going to lie. Teams have been letting him shoot the three-pointer because he's been having so much trouble with it.
Eaglestaff at the drive inside. He missed it, got his own board. The putback attempt is not good either. Bounces out of bounds, and it will stay with the Mountaineers.
More on Baba Miller. That was his 35th shot from beyond the arc this year, and he has made 3 of them. He is 3 for 35 from beyond the perimeter, and he just can't have the ball in his hands when the shot clock is winding down and he's beyond the arc. That is not a recipe for points on the board.
Amir Jenkins deep in the perimeter. Takes the screen, works to his left, now gives a chance more. Guarded by Miller. Back out Jenkins up top, 5 on the shot clock. Swing it over, it's Huff. He'll put up a 3, and Honor Huff connects on his first shot. They found Honor. Prince Zuko, shout out, and that's his first bucket of the night.
His first bucket, his first three-pointer of the night. He almost exclusively throws up threes, and it's only fitting that his first bucket of the night comes from beyond the arc.
37-28 is the Cincinnati lead. Baba Miller, isolation on Moore, gets inside, his jumper is off the mark. Running down the board, Tyler McKinley gets the offensive rebound, kicks out to Thomas, a deep 3, and Tay Thomas knocks it down.
Day Thomas putting another three-pointer through the hoop for the Bearcats. They've been shooting the 3 with a slight bit more proficiency. They're 5 for 15 from beyond the arc.
Back up to a 12-point lead for the Bearcats, 13:50 to go. Amir Jenkins, guarded by James up top. Gives to Eaglestaff on the right wing, back to Jenkins. A little motion on the West Virginia side. Huff off the screen, he gets it. Same spot he hit that 3, a possession to go. Dump pass down low to a cutting Thomas. Now Moore retreating back out to Huff. Same spot, and another bucket for Honor Huff.
He had centimeters of space from Day Thomas's contest. He just lobbed up one, and it went in. And finally, Honor Huff is starting to find his rhythm, and it could be trouble for the Bearcats.
Knocked down his last 2 shots. Those are the only 2 threes of the entire game for West Virginia. 10 on the shot clock for the Bearcats. Jizzle James driving baseline, tries to give it to a cutting Miller. It's picked off. 3-on-1 fast break. Jenkins lob to Chance Moore. He can't finish it. He comes up with it. Tyler McKinley sends it out of here.
That was a ferocious block from the forward. He sent that one rifling into the stands. And it was an attempt to get momentum. They threw up the lob. It was to Chance Moore. It was up to him to throw it down. He hesitated. He tried to go for the layup, and that hesitation gave McKinley the opportunity to absolutely annihilate that ball out of bounds.
Chance Moore gets it on the inbound, a fresh 20 for the Mountaineers, down to 15 already. It's Jenkins on the Fifth Third logo, gives to Huff off the screen. Honor Huff has connected on his last 3 3-pointers, and it is only a 6-point lead for the Bearcats.
That's Honor Huff's third. He's only put up 3-point. No, he had 1, 2, but he's mostly put up 3-pointers, and he's made his last 3. Oh!
Jizzle James gets Jenkins on the ground, does nothing with it. Dump pass down low, McKinley inside, kick back out. James on Eaglestaff, and Jizzle James travels about 4 miles.
Apologies for my excitement on the broadcast. Jizzle James makes Amir Jenkins hit the floor and then travels and immediately loses all the aura he gained from that ankle breaker.
Still a good play, but probably need to hit the shot there. 40-34, Cincinnati still in the lead by 6. 12 minutes left to go. Amir Jenkins has it. Some off-ball action, trying to free Honor Huff up again. Said they'll kick it out to Moore, and they will get it to Huff, guarded by Buck Harris now. Huff in the isolation, gets past Harris, puts up the running floater. He gets it to go, and the foul. Honor Huff, a chance at another 3-point play, this time at the line.
And it is Honor Huff who have brought the Mountaineers back into this game. The score now stands at 40-36. Honor Huff has put the team on his back, made their last 8 points, now goes to the line for their 9th. It's looking scary for the Bearcats now that Honor Huff has found his rhythm.
Honor Huff with West Virginia's last 11 points and a chance to make it their last 12. Couple substitutions for the Bearcats. James and McKinley check out. Thomas and Miller back in. Huff at the line. He has 11 tonight. And now he has 12 as he connects on the free throw. And it's just a 3-point Cincinnati lead.
Amir Jenkins really putting the clamps on Dede Thomas after hitting the floor on the last possession.
Thomas on the right side wing, working to his left, trying to get past Jenkins. He hits the crossover, and he misses everything.
Dede Thomas hit pure air on that 3-point attempt, looking to have the momentum shifter put him back up by 2 possessions. It still stands at a 1-possession game for the Bearcats.
40-37 is the Cincinnati lead. 11:42 left to go in this one. Honor Huff has been on a roll, and he has contributed to West Virginia's 9-0 run in the last 2 minutes. And it's the reason they've come back into this game.
And we knew this could happen. This is what happened last affair in Morgantown. Honor Huff took over the basketball game. He put 6 3-pointers through the hoop against Cincinnati, and right now he's looking to do it again. I mean, he has single-handedly shifted the momentum of this game, and right now the Bearcats are in trouble if they can't find a way to stop him.
Only in the lead by 3 is Cincinnati. We'll take a short break here on Bearcat Sports Radio and return in just a few. Coming back out of the timeout, Cincinnati's lead has been cut down to just 3, 40-37. Just under 12 minutes to go in this one. Cincinnati looking for revenge on West Virginia. Lost to them earlier in the year, January 6th in Morgantown. They'd lost that one by just 2 points.
Yeah. And this is what everyone was afraid of coming back into this contest. They did well stopping the perimeter shot in the first half, but since their big men have gone down due to foul trouble, They haven't been able to shut down the three-point as well as they did in the first half. And now West Virginia is being rewarded for their sloppy play, and Cincinnati is being punished for not being able to put the ball through the hoop.
Honor Huff shakes Thomas, puts up another one. That one's finally off the mark for him. Offensive rebound goes to Jenkins. Gets it to Thomas on the perimeter. Now back to Huff. He's been a threat. Guarded by Dede Thomas. Deep in the perimeter. Takes a screen. Works to his left. Switching on to Kriisa. Getting past Kriisa on the drive. Finishes the layup with the foul. Honor Huff again. He's unstoppable in the last 5 minutes.
There has never been a more apt use of putting the team on his back. He has single-handedly brought the Mountaineers back in this game. They're eyeing up their first lead of the game. They haven't led all game, and now Honor Huff has put this to a one-possession game. He's about to tie the ball game.
Miles, West Virginia is on a 16-3 run. Honor Huff is 14 of that, and he's about to be 15 of their 17-3 run. If he connects on this free throw, he's 1 of 1 from the line tonight, and he isn't able to connect. Tapped out of bounds on the rebound. It will go to Cincinnati.
The 83% free throw shooter can't tie the game up. Maybe this is the momentum, the lucky break that the Bearcats need to take control of this game once again. We need Jizzle James to get hot again. He has been absolutely absent the past 20 minutes.
Jizzle James has it. Gives to Baba Miller up top, guarded by Chance Moore. Looking for Thomas off the screen. He is guarded tightly by Huff. Finally gets it to him. Thomas goes to his left, crosses to his right, gets inside the paint, retreats back out. 6 on the shot clock, guarded by Moore. Shaking and baking. Thomas working his way to his left, and we'll get an off-ball foul call on Chance Moore.
There was a very silly-looking play in there. Baba Miller was trying to get the ball to Dede Thomas, who was guarded by Huff, and he sort of just kind of lobbed it over his 5'10", 165-pound frame. It kind of looks like their little brother playing out there. I mean, he's talented. He's put the team on their back, and despite his size, he is extremely skilled on the basketball court.
He is their leading scorer on the year. Had 0 through 25 minutes and now has 14. Cincinnati still has his Jizzle James on the right side wing, deep on the 5th-3rd logo. Takes a screen to his left by Miller. Pulls up for the elbow jumper. Too strong. Rebounded by Eaglestaff. Gives up to Jenkins quickly. West Virginia pushing pace. They'll swing it back to Eaglestaff. Now down low. Obi-Oha working on McKinley. Good contest by McKinley. No foul, but they get the offensive board. Eaglestaff knocks down to 3 on the perimeter, and West Virginia has their first lead of the night.
I was about to compliment Tyler McKinley for not fouling. He really can't afford to foul. He kept straight up and blocked the shot, but they just left Eaglestaff open for the 3.
42-40, West Virginia in the lead. Under 10 minutes to go. Miller up top, thought about the 3. Driving to his right. Tough contest there. Baba Miller can't finish over Lorient. Jenkins on the break to a cutting Eaglestaff. He is blocked, but they'll call a foul. Dede Thomas is not happy about it.
I'm looking at the replay now. Maybe a generous call. As a matter of fact, it was a very generous call, and the crowd is letting the refs know about it. Eaglestaff will go to the line. It was generous.
Eaglestaff missed his first off the back iron. He hasn't been very good tonight. 1 of 7 from the field, only 3 points, and now 0 for 1 from the line.
Eaglestaff shoots 75% from the free-throw line.
His second is same spot, back iron, no good, rebounded by McKinley.
With that, the Mountaineers are now shooting below 50% from the charity stripe.
James gives to Celestine in the right corner, guarded by Eaglestaff. Gives to a cutting Thomas, back in that same corner, guarded by Huff. Back to Celestine, 10 on the shot clock. They need some movement. Celestine takes the screen, he's trapped up, gives to James. Gets past Jenkins, mid-range jumper from the baseline, and Jizzle James knocks it down.
Jizzle James has re-entered the contest. Nice to see him back in scoring ways.
Honor Huff has it, guarded by Thomas. He's been the lead man for the second half. 9 minutes left to go, 42-42. Switches on the Celestine. Huff, step back three. Can't get it to fall. Fight for the board, tipped out by McKinley and into the hands of Celestine. Over to James, pushing pace down to a cutting McKinley. Almost lost it, throws a contested pass. West Virginia comes up with it on the break. Jenkins, kick out. Huff, to Eaglestaff in the corner for three. He can't get it to fall, Celestine has it. Up to Thomas, it's chaos. Thomas on the drive, comes up short. The ball has been punching around for a full minute now. Miller on the drive, his pass is picked off. Jenkins on the break, wide open, and Amir Jenkins gives West Virginia the lead back. That last minute was chaotic.
An absolutely insane sequence filled with offensive, defensive rebounds, and somehow West Virginia comes away with a bucket.
8 minutes to go, West Virginia in the lead by 2. Thomas up top, he'll put up the three. Thomas can't connect, rebounded by Lorient. Gives up to Huff, and West Virginia now has the luxury to slow down as they're in the lead with under 8 minutes to go. 44-42, Honor Huff has it.
Wes Miller on the sideline.
Wes Miller is far out on the court. Huff takes a screen to his right, a hard screen, and that'll be an offensive foul on Obioha. Knocked down Dede Thomas.
Oh, Dede Thomas is still on the floor.
Gets some help from his teammates, and he's up and walking.
That's exactly what the Bearcats needed. They needed that turnover.
44-42, Cincinnati is in the lead, or Cincinnati is trailing now to West Virginia, only their second lead of the night.
Something I want to point out, Honor Huff has 3 3-pointers on the night. He's 3 for 7. With that, he's made 81 threes on the year, and tonight he has 1 free throw made, and going into this contest, he had 79 free throws made. He has now made more 3-pointers this year with 81 than he has free throws with 80. He's shot more 3-pointers, he's made more 3-pointers than he has free throws. That is an absolutely insane statistic for Honor Huff.
He has his specialty and he does it well. And they're in the lead off the back of Honor Huff, 44-42.
Honor Huff, of course, followed his coach, Ross Hodge, from North Texas and Chattanooga to West Virginia.
7:40 left to go in this one. We'll take a short break here on Bearcat Sports Radio and return in just a few. Welcome back after the timeout. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one. Big 12 battle in Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati went into halftime with a 10-point lead, and they now find themselves trailing by 2 to the West Virginia Mountaineers. It will be Bearcats basketball.
Something to note, Bearcats are 100% from the free throw line so far.
3 for 3. It's a good mark for them on the year. Only 66% on the season for them. It's James, gives to Celestine. Deep in the perimeter, takes a screen to his left, kicks back James, driving baseline. He's doubled in the corner, he's trapped, needs to get it out. Gets it down to Celestine, down below Miller, and he is fouled going up for the shot by Obioha. And that'll be 4 fouls on Harlan Obioha. So West Virginia now entering some foul trouble with their bigs as well.
Obioha is a lot of West Virginia's size. They're only 7-footer on the squad. It'll be a huge hole if Obioha goes down to foul trouble.
He's their only player taller than 6'9" either. Next tallest is Brennan Lorient at exactly 6'9", as well as Oyadir, but he is not playing. Baba Miller, unable to connect on his first.
Commentator jinx, I guess.
44-42, Miller. 12 points tonight, 2 or 3 from the line, 6 boards, looking for his 13th point. His second is up, and good on that one.
Oh, the scorekeeper out of the point to the wrong total.
It is 44-43, West Virginia in the lead, and they have it. Jasper Floyd up top, gives to Huff on the right wing. Takes a screen from Thomas, kicks to it on the roll. Thomas, short jumper from the elbow is good. West Virginia now in the lead by 3. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Baba Miller up top, guarded by Lorient. Handoff to Thomas, coming off of the screen, working to his left. Pull-up jumper, side of the rim, no good. Fight for the board. Bouncing around still, and Jalen Celestine keeps it for the Bearcats. They'll swing it around, Miller in the right corner. Guarded by Thomas. Down low, McKinley, and he had it poked away, almost stolen by Honor Huff. And it will stay Bearcats basketball. That's touched by Huff.
West Virginia is on an 18-3 run over the last 7 minutes. Bearcats just one of their last 7 from the field. They have not scored from the field in their last 3 minutes.
Not the second half of offense that Cincinnati fans wanted to see. Only 13 points in the second half. Miller trapped on the elbow, kicks back out Celestine, 10 on the shot clock. Kick out, James, left wing, he'll put up the 3. And James knocks it down, a much-needed sight for Cincinnati.
A star drop from Chisel James. He's fired up. It's tied ball game now.
James up to 15 points. Jasper Floyd deep in the perimeter, working on Chisel James. Now gives it Thomas. Top of the key. Huff off the screen, thought about the 3. McKinley falls down, Huff kicks. Floyd wing 3. Back iron, no good. Fight for the board. We'll get a jump ball. Jalen Celestine and DJ Thomas were tied up for that one on the floor. And it will stay with Cincinnati.
Eaglestaff and Jenkins come on in place of Moore and I believe Thomas.
Day Thomas gives it to Celestine on the break. Celestine lets one fly, and that is way too strong, misses everything.
Bit of a heat check from Jalen Celestine. Maybe not the shot at the moment. Maybe a bit of a not the greatest shot selection at the moment for Jalen Celestine.
46-46, tie ball game with 5:20 to go. Amir Jenkins guarded by James, 2-on-2. Gives to Lorient, working to his right, switches on to Thomas. Baseline pass across court to DJ Thomas, now guarded by James. Has the matchup, the size advantage, backing down James. Doubled, they swing it around. Honor Huff crossing, finding his way into the paint, and his pass is knocked away, stolen by the Bearcats. Baba Miller on the break, gives to Jizzle James. He hit that last three to tie it up. Coming off the screen, working to his left, rise up jumper, deep two, left it short. Baba Miller tapped it back out for the offensive rebound, and another 20 seconds. Thomas gives to Miller on the right wing. He's been the offensive hub these last few minutes. Working on Lorient, crossing, lost the ball, has to retreat back out. 5 on the shot clock, and a very late timeout call by Wes Miller in the shot clock, trying to save his Bearcats from putting up yet another ill-advised shot.
Yeah, maybe Wes Miller was looking at the stat sheet, thinking maybe Baba Miller shouldn't have the ball in the hands for another buzzer beater shot. But that being said, it is tied up here with 4.5 minutes to go in the second half. It's still anybody's ball game.
Still a lot of time left to play. This is going to be a shorter timeout here. 5 seconds on the shot clock for Cincinnati. Wes Miller probably drawing up some kind of off-ball play. They're going to inbound from the sideline, pretty much right in front of where Wes usually stands. Miles, you need a quick shot. 5 seconds left. Who do you draw the play for?
I think the ball's got to go to Jizzle James. Right now, he's made a couple shots back-to-back. Of course, he's been cold the past couple of minutes and most of the second half, but he made that three-pointer. I think he's feeling himself. I'd give him the green light. Maybe the play being designed for Dede Thomas, but he's only got 9 points on the night. And who knows? Maybe it goes to Celestine. Maybe he let him throw up another three-pointer.
Celestine has been their go-to three-point shooter on the year. You're probably not going to give to Miller unless you work it inside somehow, but with only 5 seconds, it's not a lot of time. James is their leading scorer on the court as well as their leading scorer for the game with 15. He's shooting 3 for 5 from 3 tonight. It's something he's really worked on in the past few games. Just in his last 2 before this one, he raised his three-point percentage for the whole season by 9% in just the last 2 games.
Yeah, Jalen Celestine has definitely been putting up a lot more three-point shots, and they've been going in. So maybe Wes Miller is drawing up this play for Celestine. Even though he's, 6'7", 220, he can put up a three-point ball, and he has been putting it up with efficiency. So, with 5 seconds, maybe they get his large frame open for a shot for Celestine, hailing from Ajax, Ontario, Canada.
Looks like they did elect to use this timeout that Wes Miller called as the under 4-minute media timeout. So we are spending a little bit more time here in fifth third. The hype video on. All tied up. West Virginia made this big effort to storm back, and now they haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Cincinnati's tightened up their defense. You have to imagine they continue to go to Honor Huff as he had that 14-point run all by himself earlier in the half.
And the field goal percentage, West Virginia now leads the Bearcats. West Virginia shooting 41% from the field, Cincinnati shooting 37% from the field. But the shot creation has been much better for the Mountaineers this half. They've created 24 more shots than they did in the first half. And Cincinnati's been struggling to create shots. They've only put up 17 more shots in this second half compared to the first half. So really, the Mountaineers have been putting up more shots, and they've been getting a lot more points on the board because of how many more shots they're creating.
Will be inbounded on the sideline in front of the scorer's table right by the Cincinnati bench. Jalen Celestine will be the one to inbound it. James set up in the corner. Thomas, Miller, and McKinley in the paint. Who will Celestine get it into? Gets it into Tyler McKinley. Back to Celestine. Step back corner three. Can't find it. Fight for the board. Tyler McKinley had it in his hands, and he is fouled by West Virginia, so it will stay Cincinnati basketball. A good play by McKinley.
And maybe that's not how Wes Miller drew it up, but they draw the foul. McKinley goes to the line, and the Bearcats have another chance to put points on the board and get this lead back.
In the bonus, Cincinnati, Tyler McKinley, limited attempts, but only 14% from the free throw line this year. And he's able to connect off his first off the backboard. raise that free throw percentage a little bit, and that is Tyler McKinley's first points of the night.
Bearcats shooting 83.3 from the free throw line tonight.
McKinley's second, can't find it too strong. Fight for the board goes to Jasper Floyd and the Mountaineers, but Cincinnati is in the lead by 1, 47-46. Approaching just 4 minutes left to play. Lorient up top, hands off back to Floyd, working on James. Cross to his left, Floyd finds a lane, driving kick to the corner. Thomas for three, and he knocks it down. West Virginia's back in the lead.
And West Virginia has quieted this crowd significantly. They are all stressed and scared with just 4 minutes to go in the second half.
49-47. Mountaineers in the lead. It's Jizzle James. Crossing over, working on Floyd, works to his left, off the screen, kick back out. Celestine, step back jumper from the free throw line, can't find it, rebounded by Honor Huff. The shortest player on the court gets the board.
Stiff defense on, I believe that was Celestine's shot.
Floyd deep in the perimeter, taking his time. West Virginia's in the lead. They can use a little bit of clock. Switching on to Baba Miller, still Floyd. Working to his right, switch back to James, spinning inside, has to retreat back out. Huff a deep three. Miller got a piece of it, and it was well short.
And now air ball will follow Honor Huff all game long.
James takes a screen from Miller deep in the left wing. Baba thought about the three, working on Thomas, kick out Celestine. Under 3 to go, 10 on the shot clock for the Bearcats. Day Thomas, right side wing, getting inside on Huff, kick out James in the corner. He had him, and Day Thomas threw the pass too far.
That is a costly turnover for the Bearcats. They just cannot afford to be giving the ball away in these high leverage situations.
That's the 11th turnover for the Bearcats after they took such good care of the ball in the first half. Hasn't been the case here in the second. Huff draws the foul on Thomas. Wanted to go to his right. Thomas was there like a brick wall. Huff couldn't move, but Day Thomas was called. And that sends Honor Huff to the free throw line as West Virginia has now hit the 1-and-1 bonus.
Just Day Thomas's second foul on the day. He's been playing pretty good defense. A little bit too stiff on that one.
Huff with 14 points, 1-2 from the free throw line.
And the crowd is getting loud.
Able to connect on his first, so he'll get the second shot of the 1-and-1 up to 15 points. Puts West Virginia up by 3. Cincinnati hasn't scored in their last 3 minutes and 42 seconds. No strangers to having rough finishes to the game, but this is not one they can afford to drop. Huff's second free throw bounces out, rebounded by Celestine. We'll give it to James, and he'll set up the offensive possession for the Bearcats. 20 on the shot clock already. Miller on the perimeter, guarded by Lorient. Driving inside, working to his right, backing him down, spinning, trying to get space. Knocks down Lorient, and we will get a tripping call on Brennan Lorient while he was down on the floor. That will send Baba Miller to the free throw line in the 1-and-1.
Now, I hate to mention this, but this is exactly how the contest in Morgantown went down. Bearcats had a late lead. Again, going into that game, they were 8-0 with a lead with 5 minutes to go. They lost that one, and they got a shot at the buzzer. Right now, it's late in the game. They lost their big lead.
Baba Miller rattles in his first free throw, a little bit shaky. Does cut West Virginia's lead down to 2. 14 points for Miller, 7 boards, 4 or 5 from the line. A very good free throw line shooting night for him. Only 63% on the year, 80% tonight. Does he have it in his second? It is up and good as well. Miller continuing to stay hot from the free throw line.
I'm not going to say anything else about free throws for the Bearcats every time I've mentioned it. And this crowd is getting loud.
Just a 1-point lead for the Mountaineers, 50-49. 2 minutes exactly left to play. Crowd on their feet, getting rowdy. Eaglestaff to Thomas, to Huff off the screen. Guarded by Day Thomas. Huff is doubled. His pass is almost stolen. Almost stolen, but we get an off-ball foul call and a sideline inbound for the Mountaineers. 20 seconds, freshly back on the shot clock. They get it in, it's Honor Huff, deep in the perimeter, guarded by Day Thomas. Huff looking like he wants the isolation, now calls for the screen, takes it to his left, switching on to McKinley, gives to Thomas, the pick and fade, and Thomas rattles in the three.
They got the switch, Tyler McKinley lost his man, and DJ Thomas hits the three.
Day Thomas to Miller, swing pass, Celestine the other side. His barely goes in and out. And now West Virginia has it back, 53-49. 4 points separate these two with a minute to go. Cincinnati in his zone, trying to double and trap and force a turnover. West Virginia playing slow.
Wes Miller is on the 5th-3rd logo on the opposite side of the court.
Down low, Thomas with the reverse, and they'll call Tyler McKinley for a foul.
That's McKinley's 4th foul of the contest.
The fans were not happy about that one, but it will send DJ Thomas to the line for two.
DJ Thomas, 65% from the charity stripe this year. Again, a team that has struggled from the free throw line.
He's had a good night as well. 12 points, 2 of 2 from the line. Add along 2 rebounds.
All on 22 minutes. Coming off the bench.
Thomas's first is up and good, up to a 5-point lead for West Virginia.
And the lead just gets bigger and bigger as the Mountaineers want to steal this one.
Thomas for his second, gets that one to go as well. And West Virginia's in the lead by 6 points with 50 seconds to go. Cincinnati needs a quick bucket here. James working right baseline. His pass to Celestine on the other side was almost picked off. Back to James, corner three. Jizzle James knocks it down and Cincinnati's still alive.
Jizzle James with an absolutely critical three-pointer. He was left wide open on the corner and he drops an absolute missile into the bucket. Cincinnati is alive, down just 3 points now.
Jizzle James up to 18 points on the night and a timeout call. After that bucket, there is 39.1 left in the game. West Virginia will have 30 seconds on the shot clock, assuming they take all the time possible and miss. And Cincinnati gets it back down the court. They'd have about maybe 7 seconds to get a good shot off. Wes Miller would most likely call a timeout and try to draw something up. But you're still alive.
Cincinnati needs to stop in the worst way.
You don't want to get into the foul game. This isn't a great free throw shooting team, but you don't want to get into that foul game no matter what.
I mean, why risk putting this team at the foul line? If you can get a clean defensive stop here, that would be absolutely ideal for the Bearcats here late in the second half.
Cincinnati's going to press. Buck Harris checked back in as well, one of their best defensive player, in when they need to stop the most. What does West Virginia have to break this Cincinnati press? We do have a stoppage here by the referees. And now we'll get the okay to inbound. Honor Huff will be the one inbounding for the Mountaineers. He can run the baseline, trying to get it in. He gets it to Eaglestaff, facing the trap. Cincinnati trying to force a turnover. Able to retreat out to Huff. Eaglestaff left wide open, gets it across half-court line, now to Lorient, and they will slow things down. Cincinnati does not have to foul, but they do.
And Wes Miller is hot on the sideline.
With that foul, the shot clock is removed. Tyler McKinley checks back in for Sincere Harris. And Honor Huff, the man who completely switched the momentum to West Virginia's side here in the second half, is at the free throw line with a chance to potentially put this one away. 55-52, West Virginia up by 3. Huff at the line.
Honor Huff really one of their better free throw shooters tonight.
Connects on his first. Up to 16 points, just about at his season average, a little bit above.
$16 points and 6 assists on the night for Honor Huff.
Huff's second bounces out. Cincinnati has to move. It's Jizzle James, 20 to go. James gets to the right. James had it poked away and stolen by Eagle staff. West Virginia slams it home on the break, and that will do it. 13 still to go. The Boo Birds fly. Celestine down low. He'll put in the reverse layup. And a timeout called by Wes Miller after the layup.
Cincinnati fans file out of Fifth Third Arena, clearly unhappy with the result of the contest tonight. And you can't blame them. The Bearcats had every chance to pull away this game, and they didn't take them. They let West Virginia claw back into this one. They let Honor Huff get hot. They got worse on their perimeter defense. Hal Vinzella fouled out, and all of that resulted in West Virginia being able to close the gap, being able to create more shots, being able to create more three-pointers, and ultimately it's led to a Cincinnati loss.
Cincinnati just could not find the bottom of the basket in the second half. Now there is still 7.4 to go, and it is a 4-point lead. Assuming they foul, West Virginia misses a couple free throws, maybe they get a half-court heave or two. Not likely. Not likely at all, but anything can happen.
It's not over till it's over, I guess.
They had a 10-point lead at halftime, and West Virginia is 5 of their last 7 from the field and has stormed back.
I mean, we've seen this all year from the Bearcats. This is no surprise, but this is a win they needed in the worst way. They needed to stay above 500 if they even wanted a thought of getting to the NCAA tournament. And they're just playing like they have no hunger. They don't want it enough, and they got out-hearted by the Mountaineers tonight.
Floyd gets it into Lorient. Buck Harris will foul. And Brennan Lorient will shoot 2 free throws. This place has emptied out tremendously during that last timeout.
I mean, the Bearcats were leading in most stats going into half. Now they got out-assisted. They got they lead rebounds. I'll give them that. They got out-stolen. And they're even on turnovers.
Lorient misses his first free throw. Kurt Kriesa checking back in for the Bearcats, 6.1 seconds. Lorient, quieter night for him, 10 points, 2 boards, quiet but efficient. 0 of 2 from the line, however. Now make that 1 of 3, he connects on his second. Miller gets it in quickly to Kurt Kriesa. Kriesa to Celestine, a deep 3. Unable to connect. Rebound Floyd, and that will do it. Officially, West Virginia walks into Fifth Third Arena and takes away the win, 59-54. Cincinnati dropped both games to this West Virginia team on the year, and they fall below 500 as a result.
3-7 in the Big 12, now 11-12 on the year, dropping to 11-3 at home in Fifth Third. This was their chance to even the series 1-1. They had the best opportunity. They had a 15-point lead.
They had home arena advantage, and they just let it go because they didn't want it enough. And excuse me, I'm being unprofessional, but it was a frustrating final score tonight.
Once again, Cincinnati struggles to score in the last few minutes of a game, and it becomes their downfall. West Virginia stuck to their tough defense, and they held Cincinnati to just 54. Like you said, Miles, a very disappointing result for this Bearcats team. The fans aren't happy. I'm sure the players aren't happy. I'm sure the coaching staff isn't happy. Not one that you could afford to lose. 59-54 is your final result here in Fifth Third Arena. West Virginia with the win. Justin Dedrick joined alongside Miles Essenpreis here on Bearcats Sports Radio. That will do it from us. Have a great night, Bearcats fans.